So for this project, you are going to need your Picasso Mixed Media Collage plating sheet that has your sketch. You're going to need a glue stick, glue bottle, scissors, a pencil, and possibly an eraser. And if you're doing cubism, you're probably going to need a ruler as well. You're going to also need some construction paper, which I have in front of me. I've got my background sheet, which is going to be light blue. And I'm going to go ahead and start by putting my name on that. So I'm going to put my name right in the middle, and then my room number on the back, first and last name, and then your grade, so 4 or 5. Turn your paper over. You're going to be looking at your plan sheet, but you're also going to be using these scraps to build the face. I'm doing obviously mine is a portrait theme, so I'm going to be using these colors to make the shapes of my face. So I'm going to start with this shape right here. You can see it's the nose that goes down and then to a mouth, and the chin, and up the side of the head. So I'm going to go ahead and start with blue. So what you can do for this is, if you want to start by sketching on a piece of paper this shape right here in front of you, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to start with this part right here, the head, and I'm going to go down. It's going to go down to the chin and up to the mouth, and then the nose comes out, and then it goes up to the head. So I've got that shape. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors, and I'm going to cut that out. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, does not have to be perfect. This is just kind of how you're going to get started with this collage. You're going to use construction paper first and glue these shapes on first, and then after you glue down the construction paper to get the basic shapes laid out, then you're going to be starting to use tissue paper, newspaper, magazine clips, music notes, foil, gift wrap, whatever it is you choose to use. So I've got one of my shapes that I'm going to lay down. Now I need to cut out the other one, so I'm going to use yellow. So now I'm drawing this shape that's going to connect to that shape. So I'm just going to eyeball it, just going to kind of sketch it onto that yellow paper. So it's going to go down, and then it kind of comes up. And it doesn't have to be exactly like my sketch. You can see I changed that. So now I'm going to go around and cut out this shape. And I'm obviously going faster than you're going to go because I'm trying not to talk too long. So I'm going to cut in and out of these shapes. They don't have to be perfect. It's kind of like just to get you started. So I'm going to keep my scraps, by the way, because I might need those later. So I'll just push those off to the side. So I've got 2 head shapes, and I'm going to turn them over so the pencil's on the back side. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to put these together, but I'm going to do something like this. So they're going to lay on my paper something like this. And then I'm going to start doing this big hat shape. That's going to be the next thing I do. So I'm not even going to draw that out. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it, because you can see it's kind of like a triangle shape. So I'm going to rounded edge, kind of up in the middle. Save my scraps. It's too big. I might need to trim it down, and that's okay. Maybe I want to change the shape of it a little bit. So the hat might be something like that. Just bringing it down so you can see the picture. Your paper is going to be a lot larger than mine. I'm using a smaller sheet because I'm trying to make sure it fits in the video. So I've got the face shapes, the hat shape. Now I need the shoulders. So I'm going to choose another color to do the shoulders, which is another simple shape. So I can probably, I might need to get a bigger piece of green. Use this piece of green to do the shoulder shape, which is something like this. So you can see that I have my shoulder shape here. Now I might want to move the shoulders down to the bottom of the page, so I'm going to move everything down a little bit so that way you can see that the shoulders kind of come off the edge of my paper. So I've got these basic shapes down. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue or my glue stick and I'm going to start gluing them down. So let's flip them over and I'm going to use glue along the edge, not too close to the edge though, because if I do it too close to the edge, it's going to squirt out all over my paper. So I'm kind of going around the edge and then I'm going to lay it down, but I'm not going to press it down because I might need to move it. So I have these two pieces that I need to glue. So I'm going to go around the edge of those, just like I showed you before. Go around this edge, just like this. And then I'm going to flip these over, combine them. And then I'm going to figure out where I want to position them. And then I'm going to press them down when I feel like I'm ready. I'm going to hold them down. You might want to count to 30 to keep these down so they'll stay down in place. And then I have my shoulders down here, which looks like I didn't make them long enough, which is fine. I can put a necklace or something. See this space right here where there's a gap? I might end up putting a necklace right there, which is fine. So I'm going to turn over my shoulders and I'm going to do the same thing. Glue along the edge, but not too close to the edge. One stripe of glue in the middle. Turn my paper over, line it up where I want. Maybe I tuck it under the head. Hold it down. I'm not going to count to 30 because I don't want to waste your time. But you have now your basic shapes. You can see the hat, you can see the face, and you can see the shoulders. So the next step is I would start thinking about what kinds of paper I want to add in the background for these lines and the lines that go across my page and the line behind my head. So you're going to have a lot of different choices for paper. You could have foil, you could have wrapping paper. So you can choose a different kind of paper that you want and start thinking about how are you going to put those lines in that background. I have this really cool gift wrap paper in front of me and I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that up and use that for some of my lines that go up and down my sketch. So simply just going to take the paper and cut strips, thick or thin depending on how thick I want them. Like I just cut. So I'm going to figure out, I got to start laying things down. I'm not going to glue it though because I don't know where I want everything. So the key to this project is you lay things down where you think you want them, but you don't glue them until you know that it's what you want. So like I said before, it doesn't have to look exactly like my sketch, but I do want it to look similar. So I might do this and then I might have to cut another piece that's going to go at the top of my paper, and this might have to tuck underneath the hat. So something like this, and this, like I said, this might have to go underneath my hat to make it look the way I want it to look. So I'm not gluing it down yet, but you can see how you're going to start to add lines going across your paper this way, lines going this way. You're going to have different kinds of paper to choose from. Hopefully that will get you started in the right direction. After you get other papers glued down, different types of paper, we have all different types of paper, you are going to add other things.